Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games of all time. It's also one of the most influential games of this console generation. Many other AAA games taking inspiration from it, such as Elden Ring, Ghost of Tsushima, Halo Infinite, Genshin Impact, and many other games. So you can imagine that me and many other people creamed our pants when Breath of the Wild 2 was announced, now known as Tears of the Kingdom. So I thought, why not share them with you, because I might as well revive this dead channel of mine. Breath of the Wild was a monumental game in the series, breaking a lot of conventions that we the fans have come to expect from a Zelda game. So why not bring it back to more traditional standards, more so than Breath of the Wild did by focusing on exploration, much like Zelda 1. But by focusing on exploration, one of Zelda's core gameplay mechanics suffered: the dungeons. One of Zelda's main components practically missing from Breath of the Wild. While it is my favorite Zelda game, I will admit its shortcomings. There were no dungeons. The shrines, while good on their own, didn't really do enough to replace the dungeons. The Divine Beasts were a little closer to the dungeon formula, but just ended up being kinda samey, though one Divine Beast stood out to me in particular: the Final Trial, part of the DLC. This Divine Beast consists of a big gear in the middle that you can control the direction it spins from the Sheikah Slate. A lot of the puzzles in this Divine Beast use the main mechanics so much better than the regular Divine Beasts. One I liked in particular is just you had to take a big metal rod and then stick it into a room and the gear, and then that would spin the entire room. That's fucking cool. That's what I want more of in Tears of the Kingdom. I want more dungeons that use the mechanics. I want more dungeons that have a good ass boss. And I also want them to not look all the same. The Final Trial kinda does this with different lighting, but also every Divine Beast does this. Nintendo, I beg of you, please stop making everything a shrine. It's gonna drive me insane. Please. Nintendo, please. Okay, next up, weapons. The more diverse weapons in Breath of the Wild was a nice breath of fresh air. I would not complain if we did just have the sword throughout in the entire game, but it was so nice to be able to use anything other than that. Let's see, we've got spears, we've got claymores, we've got hammers, we've got a rod, we've got a torch. A fucking torch? But a very common complaint about the weapons was that they broke so fucking frequently. Well, I don't think durability should be removed completely like a lot of other people do, because it's extremely important to this game's core gameplay structure. I do think there should be some tweaks. Like, first of all, giving them more durability. Duh. Weapons should last longer than one fight because they break way too easily, especially early game. Literally all I have to do is make all the weapons more durable. That'll make the complainers kind of shut up, but also wouldn't ruin the entire game. Secondly, the champion weapons. If they return, I don't know if they're gonna return or not. These weapons are special weapons that you get for defeating a Divine Beast, but they break, which isn't something that you think would happen with a weapon that you get for defeating a Divine Beast. And as a plus, you can't get them back. You literally can't get them back, except for the Sparrow Bow for some reason. But to my knowledge, you can't get any of the other ones. They could have it like the Master Sword, where it has to recharge after it breaks. This would give it much more value than just a regular weapon or a bow. But I feel like that might be a little too overpowered. Since you get at most 4 of these, and 3 of which are regular weapons, it would kind of clog up your inventory. So just having them there forever would be kind of annoying. So I was thinking maybe you could have only a limited amount of charges. They could only recharge, let's say, 3 times. That way, it's still a special weapon and you can use it multiple times. It just isn't permanent. Also, Nintendo, make sure you remember to actually give us ways to get them back this time. Thank you.
Hi, Editor Lizzi here. I'm a fucking dumbass. Yes, you can get these back. I just didn't look hard enough. Thank you. Thank you for your time. I'm gonna go back to editing this fucking hellhole now.
Last but not least, adding more types of items. We've already got like a bunch of other types of items, but come on, there can be more. Age of Calamity, Breath of the Wild's prequel, gave Link a whip, which would be cool as hell to have in Tears of the Kingdom. I think mainly I want more shooty things. stuff that you can like shoot projectiles out of. Like say the slingshot or the seed shooter from Oracle of Ages. The slingshot would be a really good early game item, whereas it doesn't take that much effort to get ammo, but it's also less powerful and less accurate than a bow. The seed shooter would be more like the ancient bow, where it fires straight forward and also kind of bounces all over the place, with more power than a slingshot. The crossbow would be a really cool new addition, since Link has used one before. It would be a lot more accurate than your regular bow and also more powerful, but would take time to charge up the arrow in the crossbow. There would be an automatic crossbow where you rapid fire all of your arrows, where you gotta collect a bunch of arrows to actually use it properly. And to properly balance it, the auto crossbow would be extremely fragile to prevent it from being too overpowered. Maybe even having dual crossbows like Linkle in Hyrule Warriors. I don't know. I just want more variety in my shooty things. One big omission from Breath of the Wild is traditional Zelda items. They were kind of replaced by runes, but it just didn't capture the same charm as the items did. Now, according to trailers, we already kind of have this new kind of time travel rune thing, but I just want regular items back. First off, the hookshot. You kind of saw this coming, didn't you? It's an iconic item from this series, so having it make no return in Breath of the Wild was a little strange. So why not bring it back in Tears of the Kingdom? It's right there. You're making it. Give us the hookshot, please. I would love having the hookshot or the claw shot or the grapple shot or the big shot. I just want the hook shot in Tears of the Kingdom. If not, maybe like a rune that acts like the grapple hook from Wind Waker. One more item that I would like for them to add is the bug net, because there's a bunch of like little like bugs and lizards and stuff. So why is there not like a bug net weapon? That's so confusing to me, because Zelda seems to be super obsessed with this bug net. It's in like every game. It would be so helpful to just have a bug net and just being able to like swing it at like lizards or something, because they're so fucking fast. They are so fast. You can't run faster than them unless you have like a speed elixir. Then you gotta like, whoa, I'm going, and then it just disappears entirely. Alright, this is the lightning round, where I'm going to throw a bunch of ideas at you and hope a couple of them stick. Combat techniques, a mechanic that was added in Wind Waker and practically perfected in Twilight Princess. I would just love it for you to be able to get new moves for like a spear or your hammer, and being able to like a boom and make like a big shockwave. Come on, Nintendo, that'd be so cool. Please do it. You like fun, right? That's your whole motto. If it's not fun, why bother? Breath of the Wild's combat is so good already. I just want to have more variety. Even though there's a bunch of variety already with the types of weapons, you don't got much moves with them. Give me a fancy move to pull in a small little choo-choo. Or a small rabbit. Are there rabbits in Breath of the Wild? I guess I'll find out in post, I don't fucking know. Underwater exploration, the main topic that I made this video off of. Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword are the main games that have this as a prominent feature, but having it in Tears of the Kingdom would just give you a whole new perspective of this new Hyrule. So like, you could go underwater, like, whoa, I'm swimming, this is so cool, whoa, a shrine! Whoa! There could be an underwater dungeon that hopefully doesn't suck like most of the other water dungeons in this series. Crossing my fingers, Miyamoto. Does Miyamoto even work on Zelda anymore? No, that's, fuck's his name? Yuji Naka or something, I don't know. Although there would have to be some way to stick to the bottom floor, which is why Iron Boots would have to come back. I know, water temple flashbacks of going in the menu, putting on the Iron Boots, closing out, going down, walking a couple steps, and then going in the menu and taking them off, and then closing the menu and floating back up. I just really wanted to be able to swim correctly in Tears of the Kingdom. I was a little bit disappointed in Breath of the Wild swimming, even though there really isn't a reason I should have been, because it's not like a main mechanic. Okay, let's see here. Enemies. Breath of the Wild didn't really have the best enemy variety. There was like a Bokoblin, a Lizalfos, a Moblin, a skeleton version of all three of those. And then, oh look, here's a couple mini bosses. It just wasn't varied enough. It made fights feel extremely similar to each other. Oh, and one they should really add is the Dark Nut. I still don't understand why the Dark Nut wasn't in Breath of the Wild. It's like the most iconic Zelda enemy. Nintendo. A big talking point on Tears of the Kingdom is being able to play as Zelda. I personally don't think that's gonna happen. Nintendo likes to keep the multiplayer to like their specific games, like Four Swords Adventures, Triforce Heroes. That's really all the Zelda games that have multiplayer. So I don't see why they would add it to a big 3D Zelda. If they do end up doing it, it would be kind of cool to play as Zelda for the first time. It would be really cool to have, like, say, Zelda exploring like the underground sections of Hyrule and like uncovering like the mysteries there, and then Link doing all the cool hero stuff that he does normally. And I think that's it. There's probably a couple smaller things that I forgot to mention, but if I forgot to mention them, they were probably not that big, we'll be honest. Although there's not much to go off of from the trailers, this game is probably gonna be the best Zelda game. I'm gonna be honest, I always say that about like every new Zelda game when it comes out, but like, this is the one. There is no universe I see where this game isn't either better than Breath of the Wild or like on par, maybe a little bit worse than Breath of the Wild. But that's not saying much, because Breath of the Wild is like one of the best Zelda games. Like, come on, I'm a Zelda fan. Of course Breath of the Wild's the best one. What do you expect me to say? Ocarina of Time? That's mid. Ocarina of Time? It's mid. I'm sorry. It's don't even get me started. This is for a different video. Okay. I'm gonna go hibernate for like 7 months until the game comes out. Bye. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for when I upload next in like a year. Bye.